Hey, Sophie. Here, just going through my Facebook. Gotta go. So today I'm going to show you how I take this used 90-gallon saltwater aquarium and clean it up and turn it into a freshwater aquarium for my Trimac.
So come along with me, it's SuzyQue. Hey.
Today I am in the truck with John Bag of Donuts and we are headed to my local fish store. I'm going to spend some super chat money and hopefully get 2 bulkheads for that 90-gallon and look at 90-gallon stands. So let's go check them out. So here we are at the Hidden Reef. Let's head in. So they have a whole wall of connectors and things, but we couldn't find a bulkhead for the size that we were looking for. So guys, this is what I'm going to be using my super chat money to purchase. This is the stand for the 90-gallon and it's got a spot on the bottom for overflow. So we're going to throw this in the back of John's truck. And I really want to thank you guys for the super chats. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you. So we got the 90-gallon stand in the back of the truck. So I'm very excited. Woohoo! Here we go. We got it downstairs. It's part of the battle, right? And I'm going to take him, put him in a tub, set these fish up, and that's going to be their permanent home. And then this 90-gallon is going to replace this 55-gallon. So I emptied out my Oscar tank and put him over here in the 40-gallon breeder. He is not happy at all. It's temporary, buddy. I'm sorry. Now I'm going to set up this tank over here and then move this 90-gallon in place. Okay. We're going to start filling it with water and see how it comes out. Okay, I know it's a little off the beaten path, but it's using the decorations that I had. Wanted to make sure they all had hides, because those Frontosas get to be a little shy. And I kind of like the under gravel filter, so I kept it. So this is the 55-gallon tank. That is my Frontosa tank. Okay, he's not pouting anymore. He's not happy. Just so you guys know, this is a temporary setup, a 40-gallon. My red devil is going to be coming in here. Hi, baby. And he is going to get his own 75-gallon. I know. Thank you for being so patient. Back to the 90-gallon. So I filled it up with water and about a gallon of vinegar. And I let it soak for a little bit. Then I started scraping with a razor blade. Correction, I started scraping using at least a dozen razor blades. Had to take breaks in between. This was really exhausting. I got most of it off. I think I couldn't get this top layer off way up here on the top inch because I couldn't put water that high up, so it didn't really soak. So I'm going to concentrate on getting that off as the tank is soaking. Holy cow, this was a hard project. It's a lot harder than my other saltwater tank. But I think I'm ready. I'm going to start filling it up. So before I start filling it up, I'm going to see if I can put the bulkheads on. First I got some O-rings, but I realized that these aren't the right kind for overflow that I'm looking for. So I got a couple of bulkheads. Of course, it came with a 1 inch and a 3/4 inch, so I ordered 2 because both the holes are the same. They're 1 inch. So I've got the 1 inch ones attached face down like this in the drilled holes in the overflow. And now I have to get some PVC and figure out how to make the shooting out part and how high to cut it for the overflow and how it drains down into the sump, and I have to make a sump. So I am going to be making a sump out of a 40-gallon breeder and figure out how to create the overflow. So since there's no overflow, as I'm filling this, I'm going to be very careful not to have it, fill it too much. Okay, I got it as far up as I could go. It actually went over a little bit. Just a little bit of water I got. Oh, I got something catching it. And I have no way of knowing if the gaskets are actually holding water till I get PVC piping. But in the interim, I need filtration in this tank. So I do have 3 sponge filters, but that's just for the beneficial bacteria. And digging through my shed, I found a couple of old canister filters that I was given. I've never used a canister filter. So somehow or another, I got to try to figure out how a canister filter works and see if I can get it attached and working for this 90 gallon in the interim. So let me dig out that canister filter. Of course, I shot all the footage. There is no audio, so I'm just going to clip it together and explain what I did real quick. So this one that I found was a Fluval 404, and it seemed pretty simple for me. It came with some biomedia, had some rocks, foam, so I put it all together. That seemed pretty simple until it came time to make it work. I didn't know about somehow or another I'd have to prime it up, fill it with water, and then how was I going to get these hoses up and over, and maybe get some clamps to hold the hoses in place. I was just a little confused at that part. And then finally I had water starting to come out of the hose, then it stopped, then it started. There's a little lever on the side of on the top of the canister. I was pumping it. Now after going through this, and it seemed to have a pretty decent water flow, I thought this is great. Now I was going to have to turn it off to get it underneath and pull the hoses up behind it. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I have the same kind of problem, we'll see. I was able to unplug the canister filter, thread the hoses up the side and over the edge of the tank, and plug it back in. I did have to go through that priming process again, but I got that ready. So now it's time to get this water ready for my fish. And today we're going to be cycling this aquarium, but I'm going to kind of cheat the system a little bit and speed up the process. Now I just did a video not too long ago about how to cycle your tank from scratch, and I'll put that link right over here. And it's 6 to 8 weeks. It's super simple, but it does take a little bit of time. I'm going to try to get this tank cycled today. So let's get this gravel. I'm adding gravel from another tank that is chock full of beneficial bacteria. I'll go grab his hide, and that hide is basically just to make him feel secure. He's going to need a bigger hide. You're going to need a bigger boat. He does like this. They look like small holes, but back here is a place to hide, and I'm going to make sure I don't put it against the Frontosa tank, because then there won't be much hiding, will it? I'll put it back here. That was covered in beneficial bacteria. Now let me add his sponge filters. Look at that, and I got a dirty tank. It's not crystal clear anymore, but it will be crystal clear before I put him in it, that's for sure. We'll let that canister filter do her magic. And I don't have, oh good, there is no black line. I'm gonna have to get black hose. Aquarium Co-op black airline tubing that goes with my Aquarium Co-op air pump that goes with my Aquarium Co-op sponge filters. See the theme going on here? Hey, when you find something that works, you stick with it. So this is the bottom here, and I need it to come up. Now you see the difference in bubbles? That sponge and that sponge both have air stone in them. This one doesn't. But look at the difference. The bubbles are huge and big, and it's making more water agitation than it is adding air, where these are nice and small and quiet. I don't mind the sound, so it's not going to bother me at all. Okay, I found an air stone. I just put a little tiny piece of tubing on it, attach the tubing to the top, put that sponge filter in. Now watch those huge bubbles, whoops, watch those huge bubbles I just had turn into small, almost micro bubbles. So much better. So now I have seeded bacteria in the gravel and in 3 very seasoned sponge filters and as hide. This is ammonia chloride for fishless cycling. I got this from Dr. Tim's Aquatics. It's pure ammonia, and it says to add 4 drops per gallon. So now I'm going to test for ammonia. We should have a little bit of ammonia in here because I dropped just a couple drops in of Tim's ammonia, and we'll have a baseline to get started to see if we have enough beneficial bacteria to turn this ammonia into nitrites. Okay, this is 24 hours later. It has gone down a little bit. It's now closer to 0.5 ppm. So the beneficial bacteria is working. It's changing that ammonia. And today's day, the first day, so this is day 1. We'll see how long it takes. Bit of a bonehead move. After I was done filling up the tank, I left to go to my daughter's house and the tank emptied. Awesome. We are well on our way into a cycle. After a quick water change and testing again. Look how beautiful. I am a little wet, but that's okay. So I'm going to leave her a little bit and let her be, and I'm going to switch the other 2. So I still have a lot to do on this tank. I have to work on creating an overflow. I have to build a sump. I still have to work on that top layer of salt creep. But yeah, I think Triton will be much happier here. So thanks guys, thanks for coming out and checking out my 90-gallon aquarium setup. I know it had a little bit of bumps in the road, but that's part of the aquarium hobby and I am so excited. I had a lot of moving around to do to make this work and it was so worth it. Triton looks so happy. I've never seen his colorations look so amazing. He's just popping with color. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. Hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. Nah, hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. So come along with me. Said I'm SuzyQue.